you know what a group of flamingos is called? That's just one of thousands of facts you'll discover on 5 daily trivia questions. Hi, I'm Mark Ellison. Join me every weekday for 5 mind-expanding questions about everything from ancient history to modern technology. Perfect for impressing friends or dominating your next pub quiz. 5 daily trivia questions. And the answer, a group of flamingos, is called a flamboyance. 5 daily trivia questions.
Plan on flying? It's time to upgrade to a real ID. Because in order to board domestic flights, your driver's license or state-issued ID must be a real ID, or you'll need another acceptable form of identification. So don't wait. Find out how to get your real ID at tsa.gov/real ID. That's tsa.gov/real ID, or visit your local DMV. And then you'll be cleared for takeoff.
Calaroga Shark Media.
At the end of his life, Pope Francis made one last symbolic gesture. He emptied his personal bank account to donate 200,000 euros to the prisoners he had long championed. This final act of love was directed toward those he called his brothers and sisters behind bars. According to Bishop Benoni Ambarus, Auxiliary Bishop of Rome and Director of the Office for Prison Pastoral Care. When asked to support prison ministry initiatives financially, even as Vatican resources dwindled, Francis did not hesitate to use his personal savings. "Don't worry, I have something in my account," he told Ambarus, before transferring 200,000 euros for the needs of the incarcerated. Money he might have kept for his own use in his final days. A poignant detail revealed after his death showed that Francis's burial would be paid for by a benefactor. Having given everything to others, he left no money behind in a final demonstration of solidarity with the poor and marginalized. This is White Smoke, the path to a new pope. Financial experts are reflecting on one of Francis's most significant but least discussed legacies: his determined efforts to reform the Vatican's troubled finances. When Jorge Mario Bergoglio ascended to the papacy in 2013, he inherited a financial system plagued by centuries of secrecy, mismanagement, and periodic scandal. The shadow of the infamous Banco Ambrosiano affair of the 1980s, which cost the Vatican $250 million and ended with a banker found hanging under London's Blackfriars Bridge, still loomed over church finances. Francis attacked these problems with surprising business acumen. Within months of taking office, he assembled an international team of financial experts from major institutions like Invesco, Ergo Insurance, and the Bank of Malta. During their first meeting at his modest Vatican guesthouse quarters, rather than the opulent Apostolic Palace, Francis set a clear mandate: make Vatican finances transparent, efficient, and self-sustaining. The Pope subsequently built an entirely new financial architecture, hiring global accounting firms, including KPMG, EY, and Deloitte and Touche, to implement modern standards. He established the Secretariat of the Economy to centralize authority and appointed qualified business professionals rather than clergy to key positions. His reform efforts weren't always successful. In 2019, a scandal emerged involving a cardinal's $400 million London property deal that ultimately lost the Vatican $150 million. Yet unlike in previous eras, this time the Vatican courts prosecuted those responsible, sending 8 people to jail, including the cardinal involved. Francis's financial discipline extended to cost-cutting measures, including a hiring freeze that remains in effect today, and multiple salary reductions for cardinals. As recently as February, even while hospitalized for exhaustion and bronchitis, he established a commission to raise funds to address the Vatican's structural deficit. Despite these efforts, significant challenges remain for Francis's successor. The Holy See continues to run annual deficits exceeding $50 million, largely due to underfunded pension obligations. The Vatican's museum and souvenir sales generally keep the tiny city-state itself solvent, but the vast administrative apparatus known as the Curia remains financially stressed. Until his final days, Pope Francis maintained that sound financial management was essential to his spiritual mission of helping the poor and underprivileged. As the conclave to select his successor approaches, the cardinals will be evaluating which candidate has both the spiritual vision and the practical management skills to build upon Francis's financial reforms. Each day we'll take a look at one of the candidates to be the next pope. Cardinal Pierbattista Pizzabala's name alone has gotten him media attention. The Patriarch of Jerusalem is only 60 and much younger than all the other contenders, but has gone from a left-field option in the conclave to one of the favourites. It may be by the time the conclave begins that he has become one of the more serious contenders. Essentially, it is his role as leader of the Catholics in the Holy Land at a time when Middle East events in Israel and Gaza are at the forefront of world and church politics. Choosing Pizzaballa would be a significant geopolitical statement by the Church, especially at a time it has been highly critical of Benjamin Netanyahu's government. However, Pizzaballa has not taken sides as others have done. He was one of the first to condemn Hamas for the 7th October attacks on Israel and offered himself in exchange for Israeli children taken as hostages by the Palestinian terrorists. As well as being a heroic figure with a keen ability as a diplomat, he is also a leading biblical scholar. Pope Francis was known to highly respect him and called him almost daily. This close relationship with the late pontiff has raised his profile considerably among the College of Cardinals. Cardinal Pizzaballa will almost certainly get votes in the conclave, and if he does not emerge this time because of his relatively young age, he will be a contender again in the future. His age could actually work in his favour, as some cardinals might see the potential for a longer papacy that could implement sustained reforms or initiatives. His unique position in Jerusalem gives him first-hand experience with interfaith dialogue, particularly with Judaism and Islam. In a world where religious tensions continue to affect global politics, Pizzaballa's expertise in navigating these complex relationships could be seen as invaluable for the next pope. We'll continue to have daily updates for the foreseeable future. Please join us every Sunday for our regularly scheduled episode of White Smoke, The Path to a New Pope, where we explore humanity's most elaborate and secretive transfer of power. White Smoke is a production of Calaroga Shark Media. Executive producers John McDermott and Mark Francis.